I'm starting to realize getting started with this is next to impossible. When you don't know what you want to do, where do you start? You just have an idea and you try to think of how to express your idea and you try to think about how you want this idea to manifest, and maybe it's a video, maybe you want to write something out. I don't really even understand what the starting point for this project is. And what this is me trying to find a way to get my creativity out to someone. I sit in this room and I work for 8 hours a day. And while working from home is great, I find myself stuck here. I find myself stuck in this room. I find myself stuck in this house. One of the extreme thoughts that I have is, am I making an impact on anybody's life sitting in this room? I constantly fight the idea that I sit here and I work on a computer and I have zero impact on anybody's life. My struggle is I feel like I am not making an impact on the world that I used to be able to when I didn't work from home. With that being said, I am now making a commitment, and this is my commitment to doing something about it. And if you find yourself in the same spot that I am, you work from home, you don't leave the house, and you find yourself just after you're done with your workday going and doing absolutely nothing, I am challenging you to join me in doing something about it. I just haven't figured out what that thing is yet. But you need a starting point, and I believe this is the starting point for some matter of speaking. I feel like this is the beginning of doing something about it. So let me tell you what I have done. I started streaming. Inevitably, I stopped streaming because I got sick with COVID, and that absolutely ruined my desire to want to go back to streaming. Mentally, I've made myself a roadblock for that. Even though I was having fun, sometimes you get in your own head and you think, oh, I was having a lot of fun doing this, and then you get sick, and then your momentum dies, which could happen even if you don't get sick. I mean, if you get to a point where you're working on something, there's an inevitable roadblock that happens that takes your attention away from doing something else, and then you jump back in. The jumping point is really high. The point in which you're able to then have to begin again, even if it was hard to begin the first time, I feel like beginning something again the second time is harder. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's something I started doing, and now I have to get back into doing again. Because I really enjoyed it, and I really liked it, and I have zero excuse as to why I shouldn't be doing it. That's number one. Number two, I bought a camera. Did I need a camera? No. I'm shooting this on my iPhone. This is in cinematic mode. If it's terrible, I'll never do it again. But I did buy a camera. I'm not new to the world of photography. I had a camera back in like 2012. So it's been a little over a decade since I've gone out and taken photos on a dedicated camera or done anything with that. Primarily, a lot of my photography knowledge is still stuck in 2012. So I'm now relearning how to shoot photography in this modern age. And let me tell you, there's a lot to learn. However, I will say I'm very happy with the choice of camera that I made because of the community that lives here. I did buy a Fujifilm. It's right here. It's really nice. This is the XT50, and I think that it is phenomenal. As someone who primarily shot on their iPhone, and as someone who, for the past like almost 10 years, used their phone as like their primary shooter, this is great. This is such a treat to be able to jump into a camera that replicates film. I cannot tell you the amount of time that I've spent learning about recipes and learning about the different use cases for these film simulations. It's truthfully, it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to just go out, shoot some photos, and not feel the pressure of, I have to post this right away. So this has been great. That also brings me to number 3 of what I've been doing. I've been trying to break away from social media, which is an ironic statement. I understand when I'm making a video right now. And I think the reason is I'm trying to break away from the stranglehold that social media has on my life as I sit here in a room for 8 hours a day. So distracting myself with social media is so easy to do. You pick up your phone for one notification and then it's just a rabbit hole of things that then maybe 30 minutes later you end up back actually doing work. My 3 things that I am trying to hold myself accountable for are as followed. 1, get back into streaming. Find a starting point. Do a thing. This video is my commitment to number 1. Get started. If you do not start, you will never begin. Did that make any sense? 2, go out and take pictures. Don't worry about absolutely anything in that moment other than go take some pictures. Just go. Just leave. Don't worry about who you're going to share them with. Don't worry about where you're going to post them. Don't even worry about editing them. Just worry that they're in focus. That's it. That's all that I want to do is just make sure every photo that I take is for me. I'm doing this for myself because I think that the inevitable fact is that I need to do more things that make me feel like I'm living. Number 3, I promise myself this video is for absolutely nobody other than myself. Because this is a beginning for me. Maybe it's a beginning for whoever is watching this. Maybe this is a commitment that we have now made each other to do something. Do something other than just the mundane. Do something other than the things that we're comfortable with. Get off the couch, get out of your office, leave your house to be able to create a cone for your creativity so that you can funnel everything that you want to do somewhere. I am building a website where I will funnel everything into. I'm trying, at least. It's been many years since I've made a website, but this is, again, a beginning. With that being said, there are different accounts that I've made with absolutely no expectation of them doing anything other than being a place that I can dump all of my creativity into. I am B. Alexander, the Deep Space Traveler, and I have 3 current accounts that I run, use, that you can find me at. The first one is Deep Space Traveler. This is the me account. This is where I will post everything and anything that's related to stuff that I'm doing and updates as to what I've learned. There is Deep Space Captures, which is where I'm going to be dumping all of my photography into. I wanted a spot just to be able to post pictures. I have also learned Instagram doesn't care about pictures. They only care about reels. So I think it's a perfect place just to throw it all in there. Call it a day. And if you like it, great. If you don't, it's fine. It's for me. Third place you can find me at, Deep Space Coffee. I've had this account for a while. I blew up on TikTok for a little bit. I told people how to make coffee at home, and that just exists now. I repost some of my old content. I'm trying to repost new content. For me, getting back into filming was really hard. And I think this wraps up my entire conversation about being able to have a starting point. That's another account that I had left for probably about a year now. A little over a year, I stopped making coffee videos. And when you lose momentum, you have to start again. And starting something for the first time can be scary. Starting something for the second time is hard. I'll clip this together and I'll throw it on YouTube, and I think this is just the start. This is the first transmission into whatever space we want to send this to. This is for me. This is maybe for you. And I implore you to join me on this journey as I figure out whatever this is. All right. I am B. Alexander, the Deep Space Traveler. Signing off. Peace.